स्वदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So now we know that Vidura is giving transcendental advice to Dhritarashtra and saying him to quit home. So he have especially taken someone's name out of Pandavas. No, who was that?
Bhima.
Yeah, why Bhima?
Bhima killed his two children, two sons.
Yes.
Most beloved sons he killed.
Yes. So
Duryodhana and
Dhritarashtra,
Dushasana.
yeah, Dushasana and Duryodhana. Especially Bhima's name is used. And why was that name used?
Because he tried to kill Bhima 2 times.
Because he is the one, he has poisoned
Yes.
him before. And now he's eating
Oh.
from his hands only.
Okay. So, yes. So now Vidura is chastising Dhritarashtra. Okay, he's saying that, oh dear Rajan, please get out of here immediately. And don't be which animal he's comparing it to? Some animal?
Dog.
Dog.
Yeah, like a dog, no? Just waiting to get fed by them and just by their mercy. And especially the name Bhima, his name is being used. And so Vidura gives transcendental advice, trying to make Dhritarashtra understand. He's saying that, like death cannot be counteracted by anyone. Only Krishna is like Kala. Everyone will die. And this power of time, because time will forces everyone to surrender. Okay, and then Vidura teaches renunciation. In the next 7 verses, he teach renunciation. He says that all your relatives have died. Your father, brothers, well-wishers, your sons, everyone have died. So death is inevitable. And then visible symptoms of old age have come now. And he's saying that still you are attached. Why are you so attached? You are actually, your digestion is weak. You're coughing. There is mucus. And you were blind from birth. Now you're deaf. We shortened memory, lose teeth. So all the visible symptoms of old age have come. And he's saying, still you are so astonished, urging to live. It's so astonishing. How powerful are the hopes of a living being to continue his life? You're living like a dog, household dog, taking food from Bhima. So he says that in verse number 23. And he says, this is a degraded life. There is no need to live like this in charity. For those you have tried to kill them by fire and poison, and whose wife you have insulted, and whose wealth you have stolen. You have done so much to them. Anyone knows that sloka? Vishan Mahagne Purushada Darshanam.
Vishan Mahagne Purushada Darshanada Satsabaya Vanavasa Krishrita Vride Mride Aneka Maharata Srado Draunyastratas Mahare Avirakshita.
Yeah, beautifully Kutimarani says, no, these are the problems they had. Visha and Mahagni, Purushada Darshana. Bhima was given poison, and then Mahagni, there's fire, and Purushada Darshanam, Hidumbi, is tried to be eaten like Bhima. And then Asat Sabaya Vanavasa Gachati. So in Asat Sabha, we know what happened to Draupadi. And Vanavasa Gachati. Vrite Mrite Aneka Maharata Astra. So much of Astra or weapons have tortured Arjuna during the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And Draunastra, finally the Brahmastra from Ashwathama. All Hari Abhiraksha, Krishna have saved them. But all of this, the real reason was Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra could have stopped, no? If Dhritarashtra's one word was enough, that give the kingdom to Pandavas, let's not fight. Or he could have just told Duryodhana, because he's a father, he could have taken the decision, he was the king, but he never. So he was cruel, or he did so much of cruelty to them, and still he is living on their charity, the same person whom they tried to poison and Bhima. And he says, Vidura says, you are a Kripana, you're a Maisa, because despite your unwillingness to die, you still want to remain alive at the cost of honor, and death is approaching you. No, you're like a dog, you are waiting for them to be fed, and for whom you have insulted. No, that's like for a Kshatriya, it's equal to death. So why are you still here? Okay, so this is what 23 we finished, 26, no, now? Verse number?
23 is over.
23 we finished. Yeah, Bhima. Yeah, this verse we finished. like Haho Mahiyashi. So why Bhima? Bhima Apavarjitam Pindam. In the sense, you are living like a household dog and eating remnants of food given by Bhima. Especially that the Bhima's name is used here because Bhima have actually killed Duryodhana and Dushasan. And also we know that these are all Vidura's transcendental trick. Who else have done transcendental trick to change someone or to preach?
Haridas Thakur.
Haridas
Haridas
Thakur. That was a transcendental trick to preach to the prostitute. Okay. Anyone else?
Yes,
Narad Muni.
Mataji, Sri Narad Muni to Daksha's sons, Mataji.
Yes. So there also he preached. Narad Muni. Where else Narad Muni used transcendental trick? For whom?
Mrigari.
Brigari, yes. He just said, just break the bow and arrow and go circumambulate Tulsi and chant. Food will come to you. No, so Vaishnavas started going with all kind of facilities they were arranged for Brigari. That was again a transcendental trick. So transcendental trick can be used for preaching. And also he told Ratnakar, who was Valmiki, you chant Mara Mara. That was a transcendental trick because Mara, if you keep chanting, it becomes Rama. And Ratnakar was not able to do that, no? Because he was not able to chant Rama. Why? Why he was not able to chant Rama?
It was sinful.
He couldn't
Yes.
remember the word.
No, see, he could, yeah, but the thing is, he was sinful. Tesham to antakatam papam janana punya karmana. Antakatam papam. So it's not easy to chant the Lord's holy name. Like nowadays, no, whoever comes to our temple, we have started this japa yajna in the sense, whoever comes, we give them a japa mala and the small card which has the Panchatatva mantra and the Hare Krishna mantra. They're supposed to sit and complete one round, 108 times. So when they just keep doing, everyone did and went. There was one Mataji could not even chant the whole mantra. She was not able to. We were shocked. Like we were telling her to repeat, she was not able to complete the whole mantra. She was just chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. That's it. She was not able to chant everything. Then we understood, oh, what is that? There's one sloka, no? Aho sopacho, aho
Aho
sopacho.
Pachato Gariya.
Pachogariya, ya jifade vartade nama tubhyam. So how fortunate is that person who could chant the holy name with his tongue? Actually, we are all fortunate. There are, see, Ratnakar could not chant Rama Rama. He was so sinful, so he could chant Mara. Later, he chanted Mara Mara. Again, it was. So you chant Rama, Raja, and Mahishi, it becomes Rama. Or Haram and Riktam, it becomes Hari. So like that. So here it is said that yes, this we finished. Okay. And sadhu should never flatter kings or rich men to live comfortably at their cost, and sadhu is to speak to the householders about naked truth of life so that they may come to their senses about the precarious life of material existence. That's what a sadhu should do. And here Vidura has come in form like that. And also Srila Bhakti Saraswati rebuke a donor. And Srila Prabhupada also, like whenever somebody comes to give lot of money, they say that the money which we collect, we should know from where the source is, from where it's coming. If it is coming from a wrong source, then don't take it. There was a one businessman who was a devotee and he was given like crores of rupees in one business. But that business had some kind of a negative thing, some kind of cheating was happening there. So he went to the temple president and said, I'm going to get crores of rupees. I'll give half the crores to you so that your temple construction can be completed. So the president said, no, because so much cheating is involved in that business. I don't want that money. Krishna will anyway send us money. We don't want it. And he stopped that devotee also to go into that business. And the devotee felt very bad. I'm going to get crores of rupees and this president stopped me. Initially, he felt bad. But then later he accepted it. And after so many years, that person who was his partner in that business, he was in jail. He was caught and he was in jail. And from the jail, he wrote a letter to this devotee saying that I chose money and you chose Krishna and now you are safe and you are happy. I am struggling here, or in the sense like that. So, so this is sometimes it happens. Okay. So we'll have a small breakout room discussion here. Do we observe difference in Vidura's dealing with Pandavas versus his dealings with Dhritarashtra? Or evaluate Vidura's dealing with the Pandavas when not disclosing the news of annihilation of Yadu dynasty, and his dealing with Dhritarashtra when awakening him from his slumber of disease and old age. Okay, discuss the relevance of this principle for ISKCON community in general. Just you have to understand what was Vidura's dealing with the Pandavas. He even did not disclose the news of the Yadu dynasty get annihilated. But on the other hand, with Dhritarashtra, he was how sharp he was, na? How he used those words, and he spoke about death and disease and all that. So what is that difference? What is the difference between Vidura's dealing with Pandavas and dealing with Dhritarashtra? And how will it helps us, this principle of Vidura dealing it, and was it right or not? And how was this principle going to help us in dealing with ISKCON communities? Okay, so this simple one. Just go through this purport. You can refer to uh, 12 to 13 verses and also 18 to 23. Okay. So I'll just have a breakout room. 2 rooms, and please join, all of you. Hare Krishna, all are back. Okay, so who will speak from room number 1?
Everybody joined, Mataji.
Yeah, all are back now. Dipti Made Mataji, Kirpa Singha Prabhu, Harini Mat Jayanti Mat Sanvika Mataji, Krishna Charitya. Who's going to speak?
Mataji, Sanvika Mataji, would you like to volunteer, please? If possible.
Sanvika Mataji, are you speaking? Hare Krishna.
I will just indicate some few points, Mataji. Meanwhile, we will prepare it. That is the purpose of interaction of Vidura is different between Dhritarashtra and the Pandavas. With Dhritarashtra, his goal is to give him the detachment, the liberation, to break his attachment with the palace life. Whereas with Pandavas, his goal is to encourage them and give a reassurance, strengthening their faith with the Lord. And also the nature of instruction is different because with Dhritarashtra, Vidura gives a renunciation focused for his future. Whereas with Pandavas, he was very kind and he wanted to share the knowledge and the news. So this is the role played, the difference, major difference between the Pandavas and the Dhritarashtra. And how we have to apply this with our ISKCON community, with the devotees is we can speak accordingly with spiritual maturity, sharing the knowledge and strengthening the faith with them by chanting the holy names, by surrendering to the lotus feet, and the permanent happiness we receive with this. Like this. This is what I feel.
Okay, Prabhu. Anyone else like to add from that group?
Mataji,
Yes.
can I speak? Mataji, there were two different aspects of how he has, Vidura has reacted with Dhritarashtra and with the Pandavas. First of all, he was trying to show Dhritarashtra the mirror of the life. That you're getting old, you're getting diseased, and Kala will affect everyone. Time affects everyone. It doesn't leave anyone. Then she's trying to tell this: your sons have been killed, all your brothers have been killed, and your Pandu has been killed, and all that. He's trying to show him that what is the future of yours in life, and what should you do. Actually, he's trying to actually provoke him so that he can take the Vanprastha ashram, and then he can go and do so that to get liberation. Whereas for Pandavas, he's been very protective, like a bird with his wings protects his children, and that the same way he was protected, and he didn't want to use any unpalatable language so that they will be hurt. So he did not reveal to them about the annihilation of the Yadus and about all the news about, because he really loved, and he knew that they are already the pure devotees and they'll be very hurt about hearing it. So we have to be careful. By the same way, if we apply it in ISKCON devotees, we have to be very careful and balanced in our words if what we are presenting, which will not give pain to the other person. So that's why they always say, no, 2 minutes, just wait, balance your words, think over it, that any word will harm anybody or any word will that they say, no, the words are sharper than the sword. Then in that case, that nobody would be hurt. Number one. Number two, the thing is that we have to provoke the family people and other devotees to come into, like you just told just now, that they started chanting one round and they're sitting there and all. So some sukriti we have to give it to them so that they can start into the Krishna consciousness, and it affects the family atmosphere. I've seen in my own house. It really affects, and it changes slow, though it may be a slow change, but there is a change. So that's why same way like Vidura is counseling, we are supposed to counsel at a home, at a place, and like on birthdays and all anniversaries, better to give some gifts which are useful, as the Prabhupada's books or something which is related to trying to pull them towards the Krishna consciousness. So I leave there a few more points, Mataji. I think so Dipti Mataji will like to speak, or somebody else from the group will speak, because we were a few of them. Thank you so much.
Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. No, Mataji, you have covered. But yes, as you mentioned that when we go out through during book distribution, so that is one way of connecting with everyone, so that we ensure that they are connected with the Lord. So through chanting, also through sankirtanas, we invite them during the Damodar month. We invite them at home, and then we have those kirtans at home. Plus, we have the book distribution. We also ask Mataji. We also ask the family members to offer flowers to the deities. So there are various services in which they really help. Mataji, we recently went. I prepared bhoga. It is only by the mercy that I received a chance to prepare bhoga to be served to His Grace Sarvabhaum Prabhuji. So we did that, and my Prabhuji also get an opportunity, to deliver the prasadam. I mean, we had to collect the prasadam from all the places, and then we had to get it. We had to ensure that it is received by one of the Mataji, where His Grace Sarvabhaum Prabhuji would be honoring that. So these are various small ways, in which we can really ensure that everyone who is associated with us are also getting connected. But at the same time, we also ensure, as Mataji mentioned, that we should not share any unpalatable kind of news, and we should not enforce Krishna consciousness on anyone, because they should take it by their own choice. So that way they'll be able to relish it. So yes, Mataji, these are a few things. And plus, Vidura was also concerned because he's Dharmaraj. It is his prime duty to ensure that Dharma is being followed. And plus, as being his brother, he wanted to ensure that he's also following the duty. He's fulfilling the duty as a brother towards Dhritarashtra. Yes, Mataji, these are a few points. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Mataji. Shall I add one more point, Mataji,
Yes,
which was
very
in
much.
Vidura just gave the awareness to the Pandavas about the traps which were created by Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra and all. At the same time, while coming to Dhritarashtra, he is showing the path where you have to go. That is the path. That is the good path where you have to go. And so both of them, he is giving the path to move forward, Mataji. Likewise, we also, according to the devotees, we have to give the path. Then only they will also accept, and they will also come to our movement, Mataji. In our ashram, nowadays, people are during this puja time and all this Pongal also, they have arranged for a dinner to all the devotees, and they went to temple like that. Whenever they are having some time, just give half an hour to come and go to this place. Like that, we are. I'm requesting Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
What?
Krishna.
Okay, anyone else?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. So,
Yes.
yeah, from room 2. So, Mataji, so, there was a difference we can see in Vidura's behavior with Pandavas and his brother Dhritarashtra. Like many points have been covered. What I would like to add is so there was a natural compassion because the Pandavas were the devotees of the Lord and they led very dharmic life all their life. But when it comes to Dhritarashtra, he had been his counselor also, like he was a minister in his court, he was a brother and also he was a minister in the court, and where he was advising him wherever to take the right decision, but every time he never heard, because he was so much attached to he was spiritually blind, and he was always going whatever Duryodhana says. So this time he has to really chastise him, because otherwise he would not listen, because he had been seen in all his life where he never took his advice. So like Namanishta Prabhuji says, there is a saying, "Lato ka bhoot baaton se nahi mante," right? So for some people it has to be done chastised, because he was doing for his well-being only. No, he was acting like a guru, and also when a sadhu or the people they chastise us, that is also for our good. We have to take it in that way, so we can take that learning, like how we can there cannot be a same rule for everyone. Like even like Prabhupada during preaching, he was like based on time, place and circumstance he used to preach, not the same philosophy to everyone. Just like even in the level 1, how we don't say about the meat eating or about the devata worship, we don't touch much. It is not recommended because they are not in the level to understand. So based on that, we have to, like how he showed the differentiation, we can take that learning based on that principle, that we can the interaction cannot be the same. And yeah, I think Mataji, anyone wants to add, can add. And I just want to add, like how we can see this in even like how Prahlad Maharaj was chastising his father, right? I was just that remembering that one, and how Rishabhadev, how he was advising sons, like whenever they do, like people who are a realized soul, out of compassion they do, even if it sounds very harsh, but that is for our own well-being. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Krishna, Suresh, yeah, Shyam Premat.
So here Vidura took it as a chance actually. He thought that since Dhritarashtra and the Pandavas are already in the mode of bhakti and they're towards Krishna and attracted to him, so he did not have to push them towards that. But whereas for Dhritarashtra, he required a push. So to enlighten somebody spiritually, so it is the duty of the enlightened soul to deliver the fallen soul, as Mataji Saita Mataji said that. We require them to lift them. So he thought that this is a chance. If I chastise him, maybe that will affect him more instead of peacefully talking or using good words. So he thought that harsh words like using dog or telling that Bhima and like highlighting about Bhima and all will have an impact on Dhritarashtra, and he may take spirituality seriously. Hare Krishna, Manchipan.
I just wanted to add 2-3 points. One is, uh, if we look into Vidura, courage and in confronting his, brother. So, he took it as a challenge, and he, as everyone has said, as a guru, he tried to give him the right peace of mind. Now, if we have to see how do we use it for our preaching, we should not speak when we have to speak about something strong in our own movement. We should do it honestly. We should not just, think that, oh, I'll become unpopular and not talk about this point. But in case we have real trust in the, association and all, we should talk about the right thing, how it has to be protected. Because the important point is how do we uphold the dharma and protect our movement. And we can see it from the example of Jad Bharat and Rahugan, because he is also becoming, initially he did not speak. He tried to be like a madman, and later on when he started, giving answers to him, he became very strong, and he used very strong words for Jad Bharat also. Similarly, we should be compassionate also. Like that is a reason he did not want to. Vidura did not want to expose everything to Pandavas, because he thought the moment I'll say that the truth, Yudhishthira will just leave everything. So that is why he restrained from telling the truth. Wherein for case of Dhritarashtra, he was slightly tough. And if we look into our movement, how do we use this as a preaching application? We have to guide the newcomers. We cannot talk about the whole philosophy in one, as Mataji already said. So we have to do it gradually. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji.
Suresh, Priyamantaji, Hareshna. You can unmute, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Pranams to you. I'm audible now.
Yes, yes.
Now we are just talking about Vidura's stand towards both his
Can you be
relatives.
little louder, little louder?
Okay. Actually speaking, he was compassionate to both the relatives. He was he is actually Yamraj alone, and he did not get a preaching chance. That is the reason he had come to this particular world by Krishna's arrangement. So after coming here in the name of Vidura, he was having two different relatives. One is his brother and the other one is just like his sons only. But he had great attachment and compassion towards both the relatives. But he had two different types of uh, association with both of them, because for that particular point of time, they require that kind of a treatment. In the case of Pandavas, by birth, they are devotees of Lord Krishna, and they are following the dharma, and they need not require any stick in his hand. So the simple telling itself will uh, improve their attitude. And one more thing, they were very fond of yadus and Krishna he himself. So that is the reason he did not tell the unpalatable truth. Not necessarily the unpalatable truth should be spoken all the time. But in the case of Vidura, in the case of Dhritarashtra, actually he is in an illusion. He is still in the material world. So in the following the slogas which are coming ahead, actually Vidura is telling he should be treated at par with a dhira, the initial level of a devotee. So he is in the sleeping mode, so he should be awakened. How a sleeping person can be awakened? By a thunder treatment. That is what he has done with his brother, because he is very affectionate with his brother. He wanted him to be getting liberated because his lifespan is very less. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Radhika Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Just one more point I wanted to add is because Vidura considered urgency also over here, because Dhritarashtra was already very old. Like he says, no, here it's you've been blind from your birth. Now you can't hear. Your memory is shortened. Your intelligence is disturbed. Your teeth are loose. Your liver is defective. You're coughing up mucus. So he is very old. There's no time left for Dhritarashtra, right? So Vidura, it was very important for him to liberate his brother, because he did it in the form of a service actually. Like he was the eldest brother for Dhritarashtra, and for Vidura he was the eldest brother, and when you know what is more important, spiritual liberation, he wanted to give that. He didn't want to give any other gift. He wanted to give that to his eternal gift to his brother. So that's what he did, and when he knew that he won't listen to nice words, he started to play the transcendental trick. Right? And he used the words like household dog, eating remnants by Bhima, and etc. etc. Yeah, so this is what I wanted to say. And one more thing was, unpalatable truth. According to Niti Shastra, we are not supposed to speak to all people in general. Uh, but that's why he did not disclose the annihilation of Yadu dynasty to Pandavas, because they were already devotees, as all the devotees added, and in case they get to know, then they will leave and go. Then there won't be any proper king to rule over the earth. Hare Krishna.
Aishwarya Mataji has lost the connection.
Is it raining in Mangalore?
No idea, Mataji. Mataji, will you try to call her?
Call is not connecting. I was messaging
Okay.
her. She's
Oh,
saying Wi-Fi issues. She said we'll
okay.
try to join.
Okay.
Mataji has told, keep reading the puppets. I'll try to join, she said. Okay, so who is the host? Oh, I'm only the host.
You're
Share the screen.
24.
SB, what is it? 1.13.24. Okay, Hare Krishna, who wants to start?
Okay, I can start.
Yes, Mataji.
Not alphabetically.
अग्निर्निस्तरोदतश्च गरोदरश्च दुस्तिः कर्तं क्षेत्रं ध्यानं यस्यं तदात्रे अशुभिर्कित. Translation. Mataji, can you scroll? Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. There is no need to live a degraded life and subsist on the charity of those whom you try to kill by arson and poisoning. You also insulted their married wife and usurped their kingdom and wealth. Purport. The system of Varnashrama religion sets aside a part of one's life completely for the purpose of self realization and attainment of salvation in the human form of life. That is a routine division of life, but persons like the Dhritarashtra, even at their very ripened age, want to stay home, even in a degraded condition of accepting charity from enemies. Vidura wanted to point this out and impressed upon him that it was better to die like his sons than accept such humiliating charity. 5,000 years ago, there was one Dhritarashtra, but at the present moment, there are Dhritarashtras in every home. Politicians, especially, do not retire from political activities unless they are dragged by a cruel hand of death or killed by some opposing element. To stick to family life to the end of one's human life is a grossest type of degradation, and there is an absolute need for the Viduras to educate such Dhritarashtras even at the present moment. Hare Krishna. So true.
Yeah, who wants to read? Next one.
You will
Shall I,
try.
Mataji?
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, Mataji, you continue. No problem.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Tasya pitavadeho ayam kripa kripanasya jijivishoha paraityan paraityanti chato जीर्णो jaraya vasasi iva.
Yes.
Despite your unwillingness to die and your desire to live even at the cost of honor and prestige, your miserly body will certainly dwindle and deteriorate like an old garment. The words purport, the words kripanasya, jijivisho are significant. There are two classes of men. One is called as Kripana and the other is called as Brahmana. The Kripana are the miserly man has no estimation of his material body. But the Brahmana has a true estimation of himself and the material body. The Kripana, having a wrong estimation of his material body, wants to enjoy sense gratification with his utmost strength, and even in the old age, he wants to become a young man by medical treatment or otherwise. Dhritarashtra is addressed herein as a Kripana because without any estimation of his material body, he wants to live at any cost. Vidura is trying to open his eyes to see that he cannot live more than his term and that he must prepare for death. Since death is inevitable, why should he accept such a humiliating position for living? It is better to take a right path even at the risk of death. Human life is meant for finishing all kinds of miseries of material existence, and life should be so regulated that one can achieve the desired goal. Dhritarashtra, due to his wrong conception of life, had already spoiled 80% of his achieved energy. So his so it behooved him to utilize the remaining days of his miserly life for the ultimate good. Such a life is called miserly because one cannot properly utilize the assets of the human form of life. Only by good luck does such a miserly man meet a self-realized soul like Vidura, and by his instruction gets rid of the signs of material existence. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Hare Krishna. Yes, Kiruba Shankar Prabhu.
Okay, Mataji. गता सर्वधम इमाम देगम विरक्तो मुक्त बंधन है अभिजनातो गतिर्जय सवै दिहार उदारद है. Translation. He is called undisturbed, who goes to unknown remote place and freed from all obligations, quits his material body when it has become useless. Purport. Narottama Das Thakura, a great devotee and acharya of the Gaudiya Vaishnava sect, has sung, "My Lord, I have simply wasted my life, having obtained the human body. I have neglected to worship your Lordship, and therefore I have willingly drunk poison." In other words, the human body is especially meant for cultivating knowledge of devotional service to the Lord, without which life becomes full of anxieties and miserable conditions. Therefore, one has spoiled his life without such cultural activities is advised to leave home without knowledge of friends and relatives, and being thus freed from all obligations of family, society, country, etc. Give up the body at some unknown destinations so that others may not know where and how he has met its death. Dhira means one who is not disturbed, even when there is sufficient provocation. One cannot give up comfortable family life due to his affectionate relation with wife and children. Self-realization is obstructed by such undue affection for family, and if anyone is at all able to forget such a relation, he is called undisturbed or dhira. This is, however, the path of renunciation based on a frustrated life. But stabilization of such renunciation is possible only by association with bona fide saints and self realized souls, by which one can be engaged in the loving devotional service of the Lord. Sincere surrender under the lotus feet of the Lord is possible by awakening the transcendental sense of service. This is made possible by association with pure devotees of the Lord. Dhritarashtra was lucky enough to have a brother whose very association was a source of liberation for this frustrated life. Haribo.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Can I read Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Mataji, are we reading the purport or the shloka as well? Shloka.
Shloka translates the purpose.
Okay, thank you. यह स्वकाट परतो वे यह स्वका माताजी can you please know yeah यह स्वकात परतो वेह जात निर्वेद आत्मवान हृदि कृत्वा हरिं गेहात् प्रव्रजेत् स नरोत्तमः. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. He is certainly a first class man who awakens and understands either by himself or from others the falsity and misery of this material world, and thus leaves home and depends fully on the personality of Godhead residing within his heart. Purport. There are three classes of transcendentalists, namely the Dhira. First, the Dhira, or the one who is not disturbed by being away from family association. Second, one in the renounced order of life, a sannyasi by frustrated sentiment, and a sincere devotee of the Lord who awakens God consciousness by hearing and chanting and leaves home depending completely on the personality of Godhead who resides in his heart. The idea is that the renounced order of life, after a frustrated life of sentiment in the material world, may be a stepping stone on the path of self realization. But real perfection of the path of liberation is attained when one is practiced to depend fully on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who lives in everyone's heart as Paramatma. One may live in the darkest jungle, alone out of home, but a steadfast devotee knows very well that he is not alone. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is with him, and he can protect his sincere devotee in any awkward circumstance. One should therefore practice devotional service at home, hearing and chanting the holy name, quality form, pastimes, entourage, etc., in association with pure devotees. And this practice will help one awaken God consciousness in proportion to one's sincerity of purpose. One who desires material benefit by such devotional activities can never depend on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, although he sits in everyone's heart. Nor does the Lord give any direction to persons who worship him for material gain. Such materialistic devotees may be blessed by the Lord with material benefits, but they cannot reach the stage of the first class human being, as above mentioned. There are many examples of such sincere devotees in the history of the world, especially in India, and they are our guides on the path of self realization. Mahatma Vidura is one such great devotee of the Lord, and we should all try to follow in his lotus footsteps for self realization. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Pranams. Text 28. Ato dichim disham yatu svairajnata gatir bhavan itorvak prayashakala pumsam guna vikarshana. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. Please therefore leave for the north immediately without letting your relatives know, for soon that time will approach which will diminish the good qualities of men. Purport. One can compensate for a life of frustration by becoming a dhira or leaving home for good without communicating with relatives, and Vidura advised his eldest brother to adopt this way without delay because very quickly the age of Kali was approaching. A conditioned soul is already degraded by the material association, and still in Kali Yuga, the good qualities of a man will deteriorate to the lowest standard. He was advised to leave home before Kali Yuga approached because the atmosphere which was created by Vidura, his valuable instructions on the facts of life, would fade away due to the influence of the age which was fast approaching. Or the first class human being depending completely on the Supreme Lord Krishna is not possible for an ordinary man. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita 7.28 that a person who is completely relieved of all the taints of sinful acts can alone depend on Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead. Dhritarashtra was advised by Vidura at least to become a Dhira in the beginning, if it were impossible for him to become a sannyasi or a Narottama. Persistently endeavoring on line of the self-realization helps a person to rise to the conditions of Narottama from the stage of a Dhira. The Dhira stage is attained after prolonged practice of yoga system, but by the grace of Vidura, one can attain the stage immediately simply by willing to adopt the means of Dhira stage, which is the preparatory stage for sannyasa. The sannyasa stage is the preparatory stage of Paramahamsa, or the first great devotee of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Sanvika Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. 1.13.29. Evam Raja Vidur Indriyujena Pragna Chakshuhur Bodhita Ajnanadatha. 1 minute, Mataji. Chitva Shvesu Sneha Pasam Dradhima. I'll read from my Nishkramha Bhaktihir Sadarstadabha. Some haziness is coming with me. Thus Maharaj Dhritarashtra, the scion of the family of Ajamidha, firmly convinced by introspective knowledge, Prajna, broke at once the strong network of familial affection by his resolute determination. Thus, he immediately left home to set out on the path of liberation as directed by his younger brother, Vidura. Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the great preacher of the principles of the Srimad Bhagavatam, has stressed the importance of association with sadhus, pure devotees of the Lord. He said that even by a moment's association with a pure devotee, one can achieve all perfection. We are not ashamed to admit that this fact was experienced in our practical life. Were we not favored by His divine grace, Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, by a first meeting for a few minutes only, it would have not been possible for us to accept the mighty task of describing Srimad Bhagavatam in English. Without seeing him at that opportune moment, we could have become a very great business magnate, but never would we have been able to walk the path of liberation and be engaged in the factual service of Lord under instructions of His divine grace. And here is another practical example by action of Vidura's association with Dhritarashtra. Maharaj Dhritarashtra was tightly bound in a network of material affinities related to politics, economy, and family attachment, and he did everything in his power to achieve so-called success in his planned objects. But he was frustrated from beginning to the end so far as his material activities were concerned. And yet, despite his life of failure, he achieved the greatest of all success in self-realization by the forceful instructions of a pure devotee of the Lord, who is a typical emblem of sadhu. The scriptures enjoin, therefore, that one should associate with sadhus, only rejecting all other kinds of association, and by doing so, one will have ample opportunity to hear the sadhus, who can cut to pieces the bonds of illusory affection in the material world. It is a fact that the material world is a great illusion because everything appears to be a tangible reality, but at the next moment evaporates like the dashing foam of a sea or a cloud in the sky. Analogy. A cloud in the sky undoubtedly appears to be a reality because it rains, and due to rain, so many temporary green things appear, but in the ultimate issue, everything disappears, namely the cloud, the rain, and the green vegetation, all in due course. But the sky remains, and the varieties of sky or luminaries also remain forever. Similarly, the absolute truth, which is compared to the sky, remains eternally, and the temporary cloud-like illusion comes and goes away. Foolish living beings are attracted by the temporary cloud, but intelligent men are more convinced with the eternal sky with all its variegatedness. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, we'll stop here, 10 o'clock.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes,
I think Mataji can't join.
Mataji. So we have finished till 29th, right?
Yeah, 29.
Thank you. Panchakalpataruvraksha eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo namo.
Vaishnava. Hare Krishna.
Antakoti Vaishnav ki jai, Shila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, thank you.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.